Hi everyone, it's me Krista. Welcome back to my channel if you've been here before. If not, welcome for the very first time to my little art corner here on YouTube. We are still going strong with Inktober here. Today is going to be day number 18, and that is Trap. I immediately decided for this one that I wanted to draw the reverse bear trap from the Saw films, specifically the one Amanda was in. I always really liked these movies, even the later ones. I know they become a convoluted mess, but it's kind of fun in that weird way. From the third one on, I saw every single one of them in theaters. And the third one, which was the first one I saw in theaters, my boyfriend and I saw it for our 6-month anniversary. That started a tradition of us watching a lot of them together. We saw the first two at home, we saw the third one in theaters, and then the fourth one, and so on. We would see them together in theaters. It was just our thing that we did when they were out there. Some of them I saw more than once in theaters because I also have a friend where she and I would go to the theaters like at least once a week during the week, usually after college classes. We would go and catch a film, typically a horror movie because we both loved them. Now that I've talked a little bit about the movies, let's talk about this drawing that we're doing right now. At this point, I am just getting my sketch in. I originally started with a thicker mechanical pencil and decided that these pieces are way too tiny. I need to just grab my little baby BIC Mechanical Pencil and get some of those fine lines in there. Because there is so much going on in this drawing, I did find myself getting a little lost. The reverse bear trap is very technical and it has a lot of different pieces that all work together, and it's easy, at least for me, it was easy for me to get confused when I was going through it. After I get the lines in that I think I want to keep, I just bring in a black liner and start going to town. I'm still going to be using those Marabu Graphix sketch markers for this one and a couple of liners. I am using a different paper this time. This is a 4x4 artist tile from Strathmore. Seems like it's bristleboard kind of paper. Just saying. It's one of those nice smooth ones. Just gonna keep using that medium Faber-Castell Pitt pen black liner to go over what I want to keep, and I am adjusting some lines as I go, adding some darker spots so I remember that the ooze are supposed to be shaded that way as we continue. I feel like this one specifically, the longest amount of time I spent was doing the sketch and then doing the lining, because there are just so many little detailed lines in that reverse bear trap. I was also super nervous to actually do this idea. I really liked the idea, I really wanted to do it, but I wasn't sure if I wanted to deal with all of these small little baby lines and trying to keep track of everything, or even if I could make it look even close to what it's supposed to look like. Obviously I made some mistakes. It happens, but overall I end up being pretty happy with how this one turned out. Can't believe we're already on day 18 of Inktober. That doesn't even seem possible. It feels like we just started. We're over halfway done. 13 more to go. 13 more because there's 31 days. I know once this is all posted, I'm going to be spending my Halloween having some wine and watching a bunch of horror movies. Let me know in the comment section down below how you plan on spending your Halloween. At this point in the drawing, I have used a kneaded eraser in order to get rid of my pencil lines, and I started shading her face. I'm just using some alcohol-based markers, all in cool gray, similar tones, light, medium, and dark. I'm playing around with that and bringing in the black brush pen Faber-Castell Pitt pen in order to get some of the darker parts in. I also pull in a white gel pen to bring out those really bright highlights in the eyes and on her skin later. I'll also be using it to help fix some of the lines I have in my bear trap and to pull out highlights in there. For the reverse bear trap itself, I'm shading more in a color blocking manner, as in certain sections are going to be just this color marker, maybe with a highlight thrown in or a darker line, but that's about it. Because of how small this drawing is and how complicated everything is, I am separating each little piece, going section by section, and shading that way. I am not going overboard with the shading on the trap itself. If this was a bigger drawing, yes, for sure, you could get all sorts of beautiful little blends and all that fun stuff. For this one, not so much. For instance, the black sections that I have in here are just straight up black with a slight blend into the darker gray at the edge, just keeping it that deep black, not pulling in anything else for that. I need to have the high contrast in order to differentiate the little pieces from each other. If I don't do that, they're all gonna blend in together and it's just gonna look like a big old mushy mess. I'm also drawing slightly different than I would normally. I am intentionally trying to go section by section so I can better keep track of what I'm doing. I will jump around a little bit later when I have certain sections already in there, just so I can help pull in some deeper blacks where necessary and pull in some highlights where necessary. Sometimes you need to do it this way so you don't get confused, but also when you do have everything set in place, it doesn't hurt to look at everything as a whole and go back and be like, hey, this part needs to be lighter, this part needs to be darker. You gotta kind of switch between looking at it section by section and looking at it as in the whole thing. After I get most of the reverse bear trap in, I will start putting in the hair. I am trying to simplify the hair a lot more. I'm not going to overwork it like I normally do. If I put too many highlights and too many lines into that hair, it is just going to distract from the reverse bear trap and her face a little bit too much. This drawing already has a lot going on. I don't want everything to compete for attention. I basically use a gray as a base color for the hair, and then I pull in the black brush pen in order to add a couple of lines going on and to darken it up. I will pull in a tiny bit of white gel pen, but not a lot. Like I said, I don't want it to compete with what I already have going on. For her top, I'm just doing straight up flat black. Once again, just so it doesn't compete with everything. That is also why the background is staying that bright white, because I like the contrast of the color and detail on her and then the bright white background. I do pull in the smaller Faber-Castell black Pitt pen to add a couple of stray loose hairs. Obviously, she was grabbed and put in this situation, and her hair is going to be a little messy. Just a little bit. I do decide a little bit to change the shapes of the eyes. I wasn't exactly happy with how they were looking here, and I wanted to make sure that it had a little bit more of a fearful expression going on. Because to me, she looks really blank here, and I think when I adjust everything, she looks a little bit more afraid. But at this point, I'm just adjusting those eyes and doing some finishing touches around the drawing. With these last few touches, this project, and therefore this video, is pretty much done. If you liked it, please hit that like button. If you have any comments, questions, feelings, concerns, or you want to let me know what you're doing for this Inktober, tell me all about it in that comment section down below. If you want to see more videos like this, please feel free to subscribe. I'm going to be doing Inktober projects every day for the month of October. As always, thank you so much for taking the time out of your busy day or night to watch this video and listen to me ramble. I greatly appreciate it. Look forward to hearing from you guys soon, and you'll definitely be hearing from me soon. Bye, everybody!